Hello, today I'll be taking us on multiplication of complex number. In my last video, under algebra of complex number, we have talked about addition, subtraction, but today I'll be discussing multiplication of complex number, that is how to multiply numbers that are in complex form. So let's take an example. Let's say I have an example like this. If I have example, say z is equal to 4 plus 3i. The question is find z square. When they say find z square, means twice of z. That is, this z you are multiplying by itself. So let's solve. If I have z to be 4 plus 3i, so z square will be equal to 4 plus 3i multiplied by 4 plus 3i. This is actually what square means, multiplied by itself, because z square means z multiplied by z. So we can therefore multiply. And when you are multiplying something in this form, it is in form of expansion. And how do we expand? When you are expanding, you use the first one to multiply by everything here. You use the second one to multiply by everything here. Are we following? So let's expand. That is, what I mean is that use this 4, multiply by this 4. Use the same 4, multiply by this. Use this other one, multiply by this. Use it again to multiply by this. That is the method of expansion. That is how you expand. So let's expand now. 4 multiplied by 4 give us 16. 4 multiplied by 3i give us 12i. 3i multiplied by 4 give us what? 12i. 3i multiplied by 3i give us what? 9i square. So from here, I have this to be 16. I have this to be 12 plus 12 give us 24i. Then 9i square is the same thing as what? 9 into bracket minus 1. We have established I square severally, that I square is always what? Minus 1, because I is square root of minus 1. So I square will give us what? Minus 1. If you do not understand, you can check my previous video where I explained this severally. So this is the same, will give us 16 plus 24i minus 9. Minus 9, because this is plus, this is minus. Plus times minus give us what? Minus. So 16 minus 9 is equivalent to what? 16 minus 9 is equivalent to what? 7 plus 24i. So this is how multiplication goes. So this is z. They say z is 4 plus 3i. Find z square. Z square means you are multiplying z by itself. That is how I write it twice. So by expansion, I arrived at what? 7 plus what? 24i. So I'm going to take one more example before I round up multiplication of complex number. All right, example 2. The question is find z1 multiplied by z2 multiplied by what? z3. So question can be given in this format, whereby you have z1, z2, z3. This can be denoted with anything. You can have A, you can have B, and C. So I represented these 3 numbers with z1, z2, and z3. The question says find z1 multiplied by z2 multiplied by z3. So how do we expand this? Before we go into this, I will first take 2. I'll multiply z1 and z2 first. Anything I get, I'll use to multiply z3. Or I can actually decide to multiply z2 and z3 first, then use what I arrived to multiply by z1. But let's start with these 2. z1 multiplied by z2. Let's do z1 multiplied by z2 here. z1 is what? Minus 3 plus 2i. z2 is what? 4 plus I. Now let's expand. Minus 3 multiplied by 4 give us minus 12. Minus 3 multiplied by 3 give us minus 3i. 2 multiplied by 4 give us what? 8i. 2 multiplied by i give us plus 2i square. So this is minus 12. Minus 3i plus 8. Minus 3 means you are owing. 8 means you have. So minus 3 plus 8 is going to give us what? Plus 5i plus 2. I'm going to substitute for I square. I square is the same thing as minus 1. So this is minus 12 plus 5i minus 2. So minus 12 minus 2 is equivalent to what? Minus 14 plus 5i. But this is not actually the question. The question is to multiply z1 by z2 by z3. So since I have this as z1 multiplied by z2, I'm going to use this to multiply by z3 now. So if z1 and z2 is equal to this, z1 multiplied by z2 multiplied by z3 will be equivalent to minus 14 plus 5i multiplied by z3. This is z3. Z3 is what? 5 minus 10i. 5 minus 10i. So I'm going to solve this last part on this part of it. So this will be equal to, this is minus 14 multiplied by 5. Minus 14 multiplied by 5 is the same thing as minus 70. Minus 14 multiplied by 10 is equivalent to plus, because this is minus, it's going to give us plus 140i. This is plus 5 multiplied by 5 give us what? 25i. Then plus 5 multiplied by minus 10. Plus times minus is minus 50i squared. So here I'll have minus 70 plus, when you add this together, you have 165i. Are we together? This is minus 50. I squared is minus 1. So this is minus 70 plus 165i plus 50 plus 50, because minus times minus is 50. Minus 70 plus 50 is minus 20 plus 165i. So this is all about multiplication. If you have watched me to this point, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.